So there's a phrase that analysis leads to paralysis, and that's seen as a negative thing. But today I came over to you all the way from northwest London to South London, and then I basically, we were going to listen to something about AI and to some AI bot, and you were kind of laughing it off, and we were talking about consciousness as well. So maybe we can cover those two subjects: analysis, paralysis. Where did that saying come from?
Yeah, it was a saying attributed to Igor Ansov, who was a Russian business manager. And obviously it makes sense, because inactivity to a businessman is lack of profit. So they promote productivity. They want activity. They want endless activity, endless movement, endless buying, endless consuming. This is all good for business. So of course it came from such a mind that was trying to promote, movement, business, consumption, productivity, making of goods for sale, etc., etc. You can't have good business, a profitable business, with inactivity. So the opposite end of the scale is the Buddhist, who preach inactivity. They preach this, mindlessness. You must stop the monkey mind. You must calm it down. The less movement, the better, in fact, because then you will see. So that comes from analysis. What's wrong with this? Beautiful in my mind. The radical analysis leads to paralysis of monkey-mindedness, of monkey movement, of unnecessary movement all over the place, which ties in with my virtual traveling and all the rest of the themes there in the podcast. Most of them are to do with minimizing excessive movement and excessive consumption, simple living. So nobody wants that. No businessman wants that. So it's no surprise to me that such a meme would be generated by that kind of mind. See, and it would be taken up by the masses of people on the planet, because the masses of people on the planet are monkeys, really. They behave like monkeys. They're driven by the monkey mind. The need to move, the need to be doing all of the time, doing. This is the cult we're in. See, and why is the cult like that? Because it's good for business again. It's a corporate, it's a capitalist mindset. You must have movement. If you don't have movement, everybody's meditating, everyone's in Savasana, everyone's in that pose, laying on the ground, you wouldn't have any consumption. Nothing would be going on at all. See? No productivity, no GPD, what do they call it? Gross domestic product. GPD, gross GDP, gross domestic productivity. See? They want everyone to be productive. You must be out there doing. All of this alpha mindset. We're here to win. Go out there and compete. Go out there and do. You see, no, absolutely not. The winning is not doing. The winning is standing down all this doing. The winning is resisting the Bugatti. Not resisting it, transcending the need to buy a Bugatti. That's the winning. Imagine, think about it. Why does a man need 20 supercars? And growing. The collection is growing every day. Why is that? Andrew Tate I'm talking about now, and his fellows. They're all the same. They're all unoriginal guys. They haven't got original thinking, out the box thinking, or else they wouldn't follow each other. They wouldn't be attracted to supercars in the first place. They would have been, their mind would have seen through that. They would have analysed it and thought, look, a car, how much? £5 million for a vehicle. You can't even drive it at 200 miles an hour constantly. You can only touch those speeds now and again because there's restrictions everywhere you go. So what's the point of the thing? Well, obviously it's a mind that's troubled. See, it's a mind that's insecure. It needs status. It needs to feel like a winner. That's what it is. All these trophies, that's what they are. They're just trophies, are for losers. You think about it. A winner doesn't need trophies to feel abundant, to feel satisfied, to feel content. It's just an innate state of a winner to feel content, with or without all this stuff. You don't need it. You definitely wouldn't need it at all. Without it, you feel absolutely abundant. That's the sign of a winner. You don't feel insecure without all these things. You feel absolutely secure living a simple life. So that's it. I think once these guys have run out of all this and they wake up to their insecurities, like Dan Bazarian, he's another one of that ilk, they actually turn against it. They start preaching simplicity, as he is now doing. He's a mature alpha. He's seeing his body's breaking down. He's seeing the wear and tear. He's seeing entropies taking its effect. Now he's an older guy. He can't do that rubbish anymore. He can't play about like a monkey anymore with 10 girls in the bed and piles of cocaine and champagne being burst every night and everything. He's stood that all down now. Now he's preaching the opposite now. Oh, actually, it's a wholesome, simple life that we should all be living. That's coming from Dan Bazarian. That clown. And they're all going to end the same. Why? Because entropy's working on them. Entropy's taking them apart as we speak. They're going to end up with arthritis. They're going to end up with all the heart conditions that come with overdosing on coke and all the girls and all the rest of the rubbish they're up to. The monkey business. Busyness. BUSY/NESS. Busyness. Monkey busyness. That's all it is. The whole thing is that. The whole game is that. And it's inevitably stopped by entropy. If you can't stop it yourself through consciousness, through raising your consciousness, then you will be stopped by entropy. And that goes for everybody. All these alphas who think they're winners, they'll all end up losers. They're all going to the fertilizer bin, as we said the other day when we were in the allotment. That's where Andrew Tate's heading. I'm sorry, Andrew. You're only a winner for a little time, and even that is not winning. You're going to end up in the fertilizer bin, for sure, 100%. It's all a load of rubbish, you see.
So I came over here, and then we were talking about what consciousness is. Maybe we'll do a separate podcast for that, or maybe not. And you were saying you gave it some thought, and then you were saying, well, it's must be nothing. It must be that which is behind, or the backdrop. It's the backdrop to all the thoughts and all the messing around, right?
The mind as we conventionally know it or think about it is obscuration. It's an obscuration. It's the thing that needs to be stood down. This is what the radical analysis leads you to. If you radically analyze everything, you'll find that it must be nothingness. That must be actually the essence of consciousness. It's just that word, when we say consciousness, what does it elicit? What does it point to? It points to activity again. Thoughts, awareness, thoughts. No, not at all. The bedrock and the ontological primitive must be nothingness. That's what everything's working towards. And the ones who are clever realize that quickly. The Buddhists have got there, and they use the word nirvana. Extinction, snuffing out of the movements of the mind, the snuffing out of those movements. That's what consciousness is. That's what radical awareness is. It's the lack of movement of the mind. It's absolute peace. That's what nothingness represents. Zero, the circle. You're working your way back to that. All the rest of it is monkey business, all obscuration of that.
Including this talk, right? This is also part of it, right? And we're pointing to it. So in this talk, what I would like to suggest is, unless you're driving, right? If you're in a safe place, I suggest that you get down on the floor on your back and get into the ultimate yogic position of Savasana and lie there like a dead corpse. And if you really do reach the enlightened state, you'll probably sort of go in and out, or certainly the people around you will hear this sort of sound. That's the sound of enlightenment, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, that is the kind of that I would call that a mantra, right? Snoring is a mantra, and what does it indicate? Deep relaxation, deep cessation of the monkey mind. The muscular system is completely at rest. The consciousness is it should be completely at rest. All of the worries and woes you should have detached from those. They should have dissolved. And then you get that wonderful sound of the mantra, that deep mantra, which is now that is deeper than Om. The Om, the Zazen, have a look at Zazen, look up Zazen, Z-A-Z-E-N. This is what the Zen Buddhists practice, and they think that's the highest form of meditation. It is not, because you're still in the seated position. There's still loads of stress in your torso to maintain that position. So you still not completely let go. There's still some attachment to practice. And that practice itself has got to be transcended. And then you get to Savasana. That's why they call it the corpse pose. It's the nearest thing to death that you're ever going to experience in body, in Plato's cave. And that's in addressing a commenter who asked about Plato's Cave. I didn't answer it properly. I did. I sent them to THX 1138, the film. But what is Plato's Cave? Essentially, what is it? Radically, it's embodiment. In a word, embodiment. That's what Plato's Cave is. And that Savasana pose is the nearest you're going to get to the exit, which is death.
I think
death is the only exit from Plato's Cave. If you see Plato's Cave as the body itself, embodiment itself, incarnation is incarceration. That's what it is. Plato wasn't able to see that, so he set Plato's Cave up as culture. No, that's not deep enough. Even if you escape culture, which is hard enough in itself, you'll still be left within the body. You'll still be left with nature as the container, as the prison. You'll still be within this planet. You'll still be living within body. So you've still got problems. You've still got things to overcome, and they cannot be overcome and stood down until death, which is what I call it, DEATH, deep, everlasting, actual, total healing. DEATH, deep, everlasting, actual, total healing is given to you upon death, upon cessation of your embodiment, of your life here.
I think maybe I was having a thought, like, you know, because I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur, sort of, right? I haven't been practicing it the last few months, but if only we could, like, get a quid. If we could get a quid for that mantra, because you know the TM, what do they call it? What do they, you know, there's this TM movement, Transcendental Meditation, and they would charge a lot of money for the mantras.
For the mantras.
If we could get a couple of quid for every for this,
we record what I've just done. This is it again. I'll give it to you, reminder, so you know what it really sounds like. So you know when your relative is hearing this, you're in deep relaxation, very deep relaxation. It goes like this.
I mean.
So you can see it sounds beautiful. It sounds beautiful. It's a beautiful mantra. It is actually a mantra. That's all. People just see it as, oh, he's snoring. No, it's a sign that that person has reached the requisite level of relaxation. That's what it symbolizes. Of enlightenment, if you like, because enlightenment is just the cessation of bullshit. It's the cessation of the monkey mind. It's the standing down of that which obscures the already light that's there, or the darkness, we should say. It's all the rest of the rubbish that's gone, and then the enlightenment is your natural state. It's your innate state, reached in, ironically, when you're hearing that sound.
I think I'm going to. I think we should definitely start off.
It's a purr. What was another sound?
GoFundMe.
Listen, what's another sound that sounds like that in nature? See, a cat's purr. Listen to a cat's purr, which is also a sign of deep contentment and relaxation. When you stroke a little cat, have a listen to it. Listen to its diaphragm. Listen to the vibration running through its body. Feel it when you're stroking it. It's in deep contentment, deep relaxation, and it sounds the same. These are mantras. These are mantras, natural. No one needs to be taught these. A little child makes the same mantra when he's sleeping. An old man makes the mantra. So it crosses all gender, women, men, everybody. Everyone does it naturally when they fall into a deep sleep. Deep sleep. That's it. Beautiful. What's all this sitting up meditation and all these strenuous forms of meditation? They're inferior. As in, you look in the book, you'll see it. Shavasana. The most powerful, potent asana is Shavasana. It's the most powerful yogic pose. Simply laying on the floor. I mean, they haven't taken it as far as I've taken it, which is you must hear that sound accompanying it, or else it's still not correct. That means you've not fallen into deep sleep. See? And that's where the real healing takes place, there.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, like, you know, because I go to classes and yoga classes sometimes in the gym, right? And they end them with Shavasana, but it's only like 5 minutes long,
it's not
right?
Deep enough. Not deep enough.
Right, because imagine if you got to the gym and they said, right, we're just going to do Shavasana, right? Lie down, everybody.
And then you just
everyone would feel like, you've ripped us off.
Exactly.
You haven't made us stand in all these difficult...
All you've done is brought us here, put us to sleep. Yes, that's the beautiful teacher. You should hear that sound. Every pupil should be snoring. If you've done your job as a yogic master properly, you should put all your disciples should be put to sleep. That's it. That's the sign that you've done your job properly. If I had an ashram, all my pupils must be sleeping. All the disciples that come in must be sleeping. It's beautiful because it's a sign of trust as well. It's a sign that they can relax in your company. They don't feel threatened by anything here. So they come into a beautiful sanctuary where they can actually just have a nap, a beautiful deep sleep. When they wake up, they feel refreshed, don't you? If you wake up from a deep sleep where you've been snoring, you feel refreshed because yes, you've been out of body for a while. You've been completely out of body. You've dropped all your vessel away. Say you've escaped embodiment for a while. So I recommend deep sleep. Not all this activity. Put yourself to sleep as long as you can. Sleep as long. Reduce the stinking day down. Be up for only 2 hours if you can manage it. If you're deep enough to manage that and you're high enough in the practice, you'll be able to only wake up for 2 hours. Do a bit of menial rubbish in the 2 hours and then go back to bed again and go into a deep sleep. See if you can manage that. Go and sleep for 20 hours a day and only be up for 4. There we go. That's the highest practitioners of my particular yoga. Yeah.
And don't forget to donate to our GoFundMe page.
There we go.
Right.
Where we can teach you this practice. Effortlessness. It's lovely, isn't it? That's a good one.